Hey guys, and welcome to this new edition of the Hogscast. So we are just a little bit less than 3 weeks away from playoffs. So now things are getting serious. People are trying to make the playoff. People are trying to catch Juicy with all his teams because he's first in pretty much everything. Uh, and yeah, things are going to be serious soon. We thought we would have a little Hogscast, and we will have a special guest today. So why don't you introduce him, AD?
Hi there. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Hogscast. Yeah, thanks, Fab. I'm just sitting here training for Colorado 2022. We're going to talk a little bit about that, I think, in the future with our special guest who's been there. I'm actually watching the Flyers and Rangers game, and Couturier's got 2 assists. So life is good. Life is good. So yeah, let's get into it here. So I made a post on Facebook maybe a couple weeks ago, recognizing the anniversaries or service awards, whatever you want to call them. People who've been in the league for 5, 10 years like that. We don't have any 15s. I think I'm the only 20. Next year we'll have a 20. Stay tuned for that. But this year we have a 10-year anniversary veteran named Al Cox, who's not just a veteran of the league, but he is a veteran of Puckapaloozas, which, as you know, is a way to become a made man in this league. You go, you skate, you drink, you play poker with Puck Hogs, you are instantly a made man. And that's what Al is. So we're going to talk a little bit about Al, find out how he got into the league, how he's enjoyed the league, talk a little bit about Puckapalooza, talk about how his fantasy team is doing this year in Hanrahan. Hint, hint, he's in 4th place. And yeah, I think so. Without further ado, Al, welcome to this edition of Hogscast.
Thanks. It's great to be on finally. So yeah. So for me, my journey into this, I can't believe it's actually. Yeah, I guess I worked with Scott and he got me into this league. He knew I was a hockey player, so he wanted to see, and I guess you guys are trying to grow this, so it's been great.
If I could interrupt, Al, we're getting some French background noise, Fab. So put yourself on mute, please, and then we'll let our man talk here. That's all right. All right, excellent. Go ahead. Sorry, Al.
Yeah, sure. So I'm from outside of the Philadelphia area in media, probably 15 minutes from the city. And for me, my as I said, into this for 10 years, I have enjoyed this league. It's been much better than anything that I've done in any other leagues, or the typical 10 teams, and it's everyone chips in $50, and it's this has been much more exciting. And I think the bigger thing is interacting with so many different people. There's always different people in your divisions every year, so you get to meet a lot of people, and obviously the Puckapaloozas, that's a whole different story. So
that's awesome. So could you tell us, so you said you worked with McVeigh. So anyone who knows McVeigh knows what a character he is. So
yes.
A character he is. And I think he joined the first Puckapalooza that you joined. So, we're planning to go in 2022. We wanted to go this year, but of course, COVID hit. So next year, Puck Hogs turns 21. So when you turn 21, you know what happens. So the league's turning 21. And anyone who's not been to a Puckapalooza, could you tell them a little bit about it? What goes on? Is it really that cold on the ice? Do you get to sleep? Do you secretly lose a kidney and wake up in a bathtub with ice in your stomach? I mean, what happens on these Puckapaloozas?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I know that part of the challenge is even getting there up the hill, getting up to the mountain is always challenge. So for me, the best thing I can say for people is you go expecting to play pond hockey, but you go and every team has a cast of characters. I think the one thing I take away from that tournament, the funniest team was the Seattle Super Chronics. They all had hemp jerseys, and that whole experience was hysterical. But you literally you go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're playing 2 games a day. It's cold in the morning. It's cold at 10 o'clock at night when you're playing. I think, but again, you're in and out. It's 2 15-minute periods. So you have to go hard the whole time, and we're usually all sucking wind at 9,000 feet. So after the games, obviously a lot of people ask about, we get a 30-pack of of Pabst or blue, for the game, and going through all that and drinking a lot of beer and having a lot of fun, telling stories, and then playing poker. So, you know, the other memory that I have from that is everyone teaching Mikey how to play poker. That was hysterical. So that whole thing was great. So, yeah, but I'm looking forward to be able to make it in 2022.
Yeah, that's awesome. That I do remember the poker, and I think Mike, like a lot of beginners, he had beginner's luck and did pretty well there. You know, it's funny you mentioned. I think you were there when we played Abraham Drinkin', right?
Yes,
that was
yes.
A team that. Do you want to describe what their get-ups look like on the ice?
It was awesome. So they are all dressed up as Abraham Lincoln. They had the top hats, white suits, and you know, they were a good group of guys. They beat us, and it was the first time that they've ever won. So it was funny. We were actually proud to lose to them. And then the following, 2 years later, when we finally won a game, we lost to a team that was wearing green spandex outfits like aliens. So it was just fitting, passing it on from one team to another. So it was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember that. I'm not sure if that was the famous McVeigh goal, the spinorama where we caught it on videotape, and I don't know. I think it was our Instagram video for 5 years until Craig got our Instagram going. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And you're right, we were 0-4 in that first year, and then we came around, and I think your stepson was with us, right? Both years. Yeah, it was great having those young lungs on the ice.
Yes, it was.
And yeah, so that was a good time. So definitely, we hope to bring some of the fun back. Do you ski? I forget to ask you if you skied or not.
I'm not a skier. No.
Okay.
I went skiing once. My binding broke, and then I went to the hockey rink the rest of the weekend. So.
All right. Well, a different way to screw up your knees, right? You got hockey as it is. So that's awesome. Could you tell us this is something I never thought about, but the first time I went back and played in my beer league on a proper ice rink after playing on the pond, it was the most amazing feeling. So tell us what it's like to actually get back on a proper ice rink after skating in those cracks and ruts.
Yeah, it's interesting. You go back and you get so used to it, you adapt to that terrible ice and cracks and falling and whatnot. And then you go back, you get your skate sharp, and then you go back to a regular rink, and it's like you're skating, it's just indescribable, right? You can't, it's imagining trying to be able to, that it's just awesome. And then, the puck sits flat, and you be able to skate without falling. It's fun.
Amazing. Yeah. Never mind the altitude and lack of sleep and all of that. So that's great. So again, Puckapalooza, we expect everyone to be there. There's actually a budget in the league for it, whether or not you've paid for part of the league and maybe even all of the lodging. So we'll see. So just get your butt there. We'll have a good time. I promise you that. So let's move on to this year. We're in the 20th year, which is your 10th year of the league. Mm-hmm. And tell us about Hanrahan, how your team's doing, what the highs and lows have been of your season, and how you're looking for the playoffs. It started 3 weeks.
Sure. For me, I started out great. For most of the season, I've probably been in the top 5 or 6. Last maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I've been in the top 3, 2 or 3, back and forth, week to week. It's really tough this year with teams that sit out for a week with COVID. Their goalies don't move for 2 weeks. So if you have those goalies, like I had Kudobin from Dallas, and that team, they seemed like they sat for 2 weeks and he didn't play. Obviously, they'll catch up, but still, it's like in the beginning of the season, a lot of the standings may fluctuate based on teams having those issues. But I'm hoping, trying to see if I want to try and make a trade here. There's a couple of guys I'd like to move. I've had a couple of trade offers that have been kind of just crazy, like ranting in for like Brooks McGinn, and like just I'm not sure people making those.
Welcome to my life, playing in the league with Adrian.
So I'm trying to decide that, and then my biggest challenge has been the last couple of weeks has been all my goalies are not playing well. They started out great, and then they've all been on some losing streaks. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, Bennington, Kudobin, Brian Elliott as a backup. He's been playing a lot, and he's usually good for a win, maybe, but he's been getting blown out a little bit recently. So, and I have Sorokin from the Islanders. Just picked him up. Just kind of he seems to be playing more. So I'm hoping he'll help out, and some of these other guys will get ready for the playoffs. We'll see.
Yeah, so Kudobin, back to back, and he doesn't play in either game. Like, what the hell? Boy, was I pissed off. So I feel your pain on that. This is the joy of multi-divisions. Everyone feels a little bit of the pain, and sometimes, when you pick up the Sharks goalie on the waiver wire, you feel a little bit of the joy. Not that I want to bring that up
You've
against
been either good or really lucky this past few. Let's say good for now.
Yeah.
Until proven otherwise.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I checked your division, Al, and it's I think 300 points separating 3rd through 7th.
Yeah.
So those are so fun. At the end, you get the rushes and people trying to burn their moves to pick up some waiver wire garbage that turns into hot garbage. So
Yeah.
good luck with the playoffs. And I don't know if you have a chance at first place, but that's the glory. You get to ride out that first week. I certainly don't, but
Yeah.
yeah, good luck in the rest of the way here and in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, thanks for having.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
I'll
Fab,
just
any
one last
for you?
question. What the furthest you went into the playoff? Like, did you go really far 1 year in the playoffs?
So it's interesting. I went back to look to see, because it's funny. When I first started, I want to say the first couple years, consecutive years, I made it to like the division semifinals maybe. And since then, like maybe the first 2 or 3 years, and ever since then, it's been toilet bowl. I don't know. The last couple years, I started out and in the drafts in the last 2 years, I did not draft well with goalies, and that long term through the season does not help. So that's, this year I sort of took a different approach to that and trying to make sure I had some goalies and thought they were going to be good, based on Khudobin's last year and Bennington the last couple of years. So we'll see. But yeah, hopefully this year get back in the playoffs and see where we go.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So
cool.
talking about the playoffs, before I hand it back to you, AD. So yeah, we're 3 weeks away. So we are definitely gonna communicate with you guys before the playoff starts. So be on the lookout for the email or on WhatsApp, on Facebook, or even on the homepage on Fantrax. We may post something. So be sure to check the rules, the number of moves. We're gonna say it again, but be sure to be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Eddie, do you have something to send us home now?
Yeah, that's it again. Thanks, Al, for joining. And I am. There's since you guys are both wearing official Puck Hogs headgear, Fab's got the toque. Al, you've got the 2018 hat, I believe. I've got my Rambo headband or whatever I'm doing here on the bike. So that means I'm buying the first round, guys. So
there we go.
I apologize. I do have where's my mini bucket? I always like to show the mini bucket. So I do have a mini bucket here. So, maybe I'll put that on my head. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. And, or I should say Al.
Yeah.
And let's, stay tuned for playoff communication. It's going to happen soon. You get 3 moves a week or 18 moves for the whole thing or whatever it is. It's all in the rules. Come join the WhatsApp chat. Most importantly, come join us in Colorado, Puckapalooza, February 2022. And Fab, I'll send it out to you if you want to end it right there.
No, that's it. That's it. Thanks, Al, for joining. Let's meet in the Thunderdome in week 4 of the playoff.
Sounds good.
Division meet.
Take care, guys.
Okay,
Thanks.
take care. Have a good night. Bye, guys.
Yep. Bye.